All right, hi. Welcome to Pump It Up. My name is Danielle Day, the author of Light 10 Up, 10 Lifestyle Essentials to Glow By, available on Amazon and Kindle. And I'm so happy to have had a chance to write this book. I love personal training, I love yoga teacher training, and I love social work. And I did all three of those jobs throughout the last 30 years. And I put together a little system that I'm really proud of. It's 10 points of lifestyle essentials, and really, to be perfectly honest, it's kind of like the 10 things I stopped doing during 2020. You know, during the pandemic and the shutdowns, the lockdowns, and everything that happened over the summer, I kind of lost my focus. So when I got back in the zone, so to speak, I thought to myself, you know what? I really love this lifestyle I've carved out, and I feel like if I write a book, I can help other people jump on the path too. And so I'm just so grateful. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the channel. I hope you're loving the 14-day yoga challenge, and I hope you're loving taking good care of yourself at your house. I'm here at my house in our spare bedroom. It's the room my daughter uses when she visits, and so we've got a little collection of her things in here, but I like the vibe, you know. It makes me so happy. And today is a Thursday, and in Light 10 Up, we lift weights 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And there in the second chapter is a list of 5 sets of exercises that we do together on Tuesdays and Thursdays with weights. And so I want to walk you through how to do these safely, and let's get started. I haven't lifted weights yet today, so I'm really happy to do this. The things you're going to need are a heavy, a medium, and a light set. Well, how many pounds is that? Well, it's different for everybody, but what we're after are sets of 12 to 15 repetitions where it's really hard to do number 14 and 15 properly. So you'll want to experiment with what you have available and what you can find. And with the proper tempo and the proper form and the proper timing, we're going to get the most out of it. So let's get started. I've got with me here some 20-pound weights for my heavy. I've got some 5s that I actually really need 10s. I don't have them, so I have 4 5s to hold to make 10s. And for my light weights, I'll use the 5s. Okay, let's just get into it. So the first thing I want to tell you about is how to pick weights up. Believe it or not, even the strongest and fittest people throw their back out all the time simply by picking up something improperly, okay? So just like in Legally Blonde, when she's like, oh, I dropped something, I need to pick it up. You know, she lifts with her legs when she's doing the bend and snap, and so we kind of do the same thing. You want to bend down to pick up the thing that you're picking up, and right away, hold it close to your center of gravity. Then lift with your legs. So at no point do you want your spine to become rounded. Let's do our first set. It's squats with a heavy dumbbell, and it's 12 to 15 reps. Let's get into it. So you see how my feet are hip distance apart. My chest is lifted. I want to keep my eyes on the horizon. You can stay safest in your spine if you do that. Now I'm holding the weight close to my center, and I've got all the work in my heels. I'm kind of leaned back, and how do I check that? I lift my toes. So you take a big breath in to get started, and you exhale to execute, okay? Big breath in and out. Okay, keep your chest lifted. Keep all the work in your heels. Now see how my hips are back there? This is good. Big breath in and out. All right, so here we go, number 6. Big breath in and out. 7. Chest up, eyes open. Here we are. Nice. 10, I'm thinking. 11. 12. Okay, I have 3 more. Okay, so I'm going to put the weight down just as carefully as how I picked it up. And we're going to alternate this set of squats with push-ups, okay? Both of these activities really get you warmed up. Right away, my heart rate is up, and my heart is pumping blood full of oxygen to my working muscle sites, which is what we want to have happen. So coming down to the floor, to get in some push-ups. I'm practicing with my knees down today. And I want to keep not my hips high and not like this bowed forward, but in the neutral spine. That helps me keep my core engaged too. Big breath in. There's 12. All right, last 3, last 2, last time. Okay, so just your basic push up there. You want 90-degree elbows, not going too low, and a good 90-degree shape. Let's do our second set of squats. Picking up the weight safely, right there to my chest, and then standing up carefully. We'll take a second set. All right, big breath here. Come on down and exhale to execute. Keep your eyes on the horizon. Press your heels so that there's no impact to your knees. Last 3, last 2, last time. Perfect. All right, setting the weight down, getting into the second set of push-ups. Here we go. Come on down to the floor. Have your hands about shoulder width apart. Here we go, last 3, last 2, last time. All right. Okay. I'm gonna turn down the heat in here because that was a pretty good warm-up. So that was our first set. Squats with a heavy weight paired with push-ups. Second set is lunges with bicep curls and deadlifts. So, like I was saying, medium-sized weights that I would like to select would be 10s. So I got 2 5s here. Okay, now for lunges, you want your feet hip distance apart. Slide your left leg back. And to get proper form, here's how you can check it. Create 2 90-degree legs. Then it's just a matter of hooking your back toes into the floor and coming on up. Now, bicep curl. So we want to bend your back knee and curl your weights. Big breath here. Now keep all the work in your front heel. That will keep it out of your knee. Okay, last 3. Notice how I'm not really fully extending or fully bending my elbows. Keeping it in the middle of the range of motion. Second side, we'll save for after the deadlift. Here's your bend and snap, friends. Touch your weights to your legs. Inhale to come down. And if you're using a mirror, come to the place you could just see your hips above your shoulders. And then stand up. Come to neutral spine without thrusting your hips forward. Save it for the dance floor. We're just coming up to neutral spine. Now the secret here is to press your heels into the floor and squeeze your buns. Participate in the work by squeezing your glutes all the way up. All right, I'm thinking this is 8. Okay, last time. All right, so We'll keep the weights handy. Let's do our second set of lunges. Left leg forward, right leg back, hip distance apart. Check your 90 degrees. Tuck your back toes, and let's begin. Curling to come up. Now, bend your knee, and then here we go. Extend, bend. Here we are. All right, there's 10. Last 3. Last 2. Last time. All right, feet to meet. Deadlifts. Here we go. Stand up straight, look forward. Inhale on the down, exhale on the up. Now again, keep the weights so close to you that you can feel them touching your legs the whole time. Having the weights stray past your body would put very excessive strain on your low back. And that is one thing we want to avoid. Inhale on the down, and again, squeeze. Participate in the work by squeezing your glutes. Coming up. All right, we got last 3. Here we go. Inhale down. Exhale up. Squeeze. Last 2. Last time. Okay, so no, second set, all done. So let's set your weights down as carefully as you picked them up. And how are you feeling? Proper tempo is what we call a 2 and 2. So it's like a 2 count down and a 2 count up. So monitor with your breath and with your tempo to make sure you're doing it properly. Remember, exhale to execute. That's the best way to keep your blood pressure happy while you're lifting weights, okay? So, third thing we do takes place on the floor, chest presses, alternating with one-arm rows, okay? So, I'm gonna use this yoga Tuff It. You might have a weight bench at home, lucky, and we wanna be really careful. Let me explain. You know how when we were doing push-ups, we were using 90-degree elbows? We're gonna do the same thing with chest presses. You don't wanna go so far down that you strain the ligaments of your shoulders, and you want to touch all the way. So inhale down, exhale up. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna sit down, and if you have a couple couch cushions, you could use that too. That could be helpful. And then here we are. I'll work to stay in frame. So why don't I put the Tuff It there? And I hope you're having fun. I am too. This is such a new activity for me, doing exercises online, especially live. So this is quite thrilling. My heart rate is pretty sky high. I hope yours is more moderate. So begin with your weights close to your center of gravity, because these are pretty heavy. Come on down, lift your hips up, touch the weights together. Now inhale on the down. See how I'm not going too far down? And you clink them together at the top. Okay, last time. 15. Yeah, see, that's volitional fatigue, where you really want to do the last one with good form, but it's hard. We will alternate the chest press with the one-arm rows. Now, keeping my weight close to me, coming up safe, I like to use a piece of furniture and keep the weight close as ever. We're working some really nice muscles of the side of your ribs, your rear delts, and also your biceps. Remember, whenever you do something that's a push, like the chest press or the push-ups, you use chest and triceps. Whenever you pull, you're using back and biceps. Lost count here, so I'm gonna think this is 9. and it's getting heavy, so 13 and 14 here are gonna be hardest. 15, that tells me I selected the right size of weight. Let's get the second side. So once again, now notice how I'm kind of pitched forward. That's going to optimize the movement. I really got my tummy pulled in tight so I can keep good form. Keep my back happy. Keep your elbow close. All right, so it's feeling like it's impossible. This last one's like, must be 15. Okay, cool. Let's get our second set of the chest press. So why are we alternating like this? Well, you want to give your muscles a chance to rest in between sets, and the activity goes by pretty fast. When I'm working out with my best friend, we take a whole hour, but that's because we talk a lot. But when you're lifting and you're by yourself, you know, a duration isn't as important as good form, consistent effort, and like we say in the book, 2 sets of 8 to 10 major muscle groups worked to volitional fatigue, twice a week, is about the American College of Sports Medicine's baseline level for functional capacity. If you want to do something specific like bodybuilding or something sport specific, that's going to be a different exercise prescription. But light 10 up, we're trying to just get it in, get it done, and help you feel great. So thanks for listening. I was totally procrastinating on this second set, obviously, and I'm ready now. So get into it. Hold your weight close to you as you assemble, and have your shoulders and your upper back supported, but so your lower body, you wouldn't want it to dip down. Press your heels, and then you're getting a little extra credit for your glutes. Here we go. Inhale down, exhale up. Okay, last 3. That's getting tough. Last 2. Last time. All right, again, keep the weight close to you as you get out of it. Set it down. And we're into it. The second set of the 1-arm rows. Again, pick it up safely. Hold onto a piece of furniture, or, you can use your knee. I kind of like that. It reminds me of doing yoga sculpt. So let's do the left side first this time. Here we go. Okay, last 3. Last 2. Woo! Last time. It's so heavy. Okay, second side. Now, notice how I'm not looking at the horizon this time, because look, that would hurt my neck. I'm looking right there, keeping my neck neutral. Gotta be last 3. Last 2. Last time. Oh my goodness sakes. That was pretty intense. Set it down. And there you go. That was your third set. We're on set 4. What we want to do now is get in a little more for the big muscle groups. Notice how we're working biggest muscle groups first. So grab your medium-sized weights and let's have some rear delt flies. Now, I love using agility, balance, and coordination. So we can do this in airplane pose from yoga if that's for you. You could put your foot on some support or on the floor if it's not. A rear delt fly draws your shoulder blades together and you exhale to execute like before. Here we go. And these are rounded arms, not boxy. Last 3, last 2, last time. Okay, now keep the weights close to you. Join me in some overhead presses with a kick out. Big breath. Last 3, last 2, last time. Boom. All right. Okay, so rear delt flies, second set. So we were on the right leg before. Let's go on the left. And again, it's a rounded movement. Here we are. Touch the weights together. Lift your back leg if you like. Let's go. And I like a single leg deadlift too. I don't know if I was doing that on the first side because I'm a little bit in my head here. But if it's for you, keep the work in your heel and it's that much more for the buns. Here we go. Last 3, last 2, last time. Yeah. Ow! Okay, let's kick it out. Last 3, last 2, ow! Last time. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's set these bad boys down. Okay, so that was your rear delt flies with your overhead press and your kick out, and I hope you're sweating too. Lots of fun. Tree pose. Use your lightest weights that you have, and for tree pose, shift your work, put your left foot above or below, never on top of your knee. And let's get some tricep extensions. You know, I might showcase it from here. Look how I'm never gonna crunch my elbows in like that. We're gonna go 90 to straight. Inhale. Okay, last 3, last 2, last time. All right, get in there. We'll switch sides. Now, instead of tricep extensions, for the second set, let's do lateral raises, okay? Now, watch, we're not going all the way down. That's when your muscles are not working. Here to here, no higher, because that is not good for your shoulder. Your little supraspinatus, it's a little tiny muscle, and it abducts the arm from the midline to extended. And it's little, it's not a big one, so that's why we're using smaller weights. Bend your elbows a little, drop your shoulder shrugs down, and we're working to volitional fatigue. I'm not counting as I'm talking, but I'm thinking it's last 3 here. 2 time. Ow. Ooh, yeah. Roll out your shoulders. And let's get a bonus set. I want to get a little more biceps in. They're my target muscle group of the month. So set up your tree pose. And again, never fully straight, never fully closed. Think about time under tension. That is what creates strength. You never want to do weight training on consecutive days. So that's why Tuesday, Thursday is great. If you can get in Saturday, have at it. I like to use Saturday for grocery shopping. But if you're using Instacart, well, hey, you've got an extra hour of your week to do weights. So maybe Saturday. Last one. Okay, bonus, second side. Let's do more triceps. I'm gonna use an 8-pound weight here this time, just to have the one. Other foot, getting into tree. And you know, the thing with triceps, it's kind of like the only weight training activity where we ask you to lock out a joint. When the arm is fully extended, straight, that's when the triceps work. Now the biceps work when you go below 90 degrees. So notice how I'm not like all the way, because you'll hit your spine like I just did, and you're just using momentum. It ends up not being the demand for your musculature, and it just ends up being lame cardio. Okay, so notice how my elbows aren't out like this too. You want to keep them toward each other. Every time you come down, draw them in like magnets. Let's call this the last 3, the last 2, and the last time, and keep it close to you. All right, now that you did your tree pose with your smaller muscle groups, the lateral delts and the triceps, got a little extra biceps in, it's time to do abs. Time to do your core work. Now, I say in the book, Light 10 Up, that my favorite core activity is this cute little video from 1993 on YouTube, called 8-Minute Abs. It's adorable. It's like shot in the Florida Everglades, and it's got some really cute music, a keytar, I think is what we call it. And let me just show you what some of the moves are. But like I said, hey, don't overthink it. Fire up 8-minute abs. It's pretty awesome. And it works. And the exercises are safe, they're effective, and they are fun. So let's begin. Come on to the floor and create a super flat back where you tuck your tailbone under, and that there's at no time the lumbar curve. Let's learn what that is. Now just have yourself natural and slide your fingers. See how you can fit your fingers underneath you because your lumbar curve is curving. Now tuck your tail under and make this part flat. That's going to stabilize you, because the only muscle that can flex the spine from this position lying down is your rectus abdominis. It originates at your sternum, and it inserts into your pelvic bone. So you want to bring your sternum to your pelvis for the contraction phase, and you inhale and come on down. Now as you exhale, you come on up, and you always keep the proverbial orange underneath your chin, because you don't want to crunch your chin in, and you don't want to have your head too back. Now you can use your fingers, and sometimes people say their neck really hurts in these activities. You could take a little towel and you can make a little hammock. So that's my tip for you today. If this kind of basic crunch hurts your neck, you just rest your head inside a little hammock of a towel. Didn't plan ahead to bring one with. Anyway, I hope you can hear okay, because we got the mic right here. And let's keep going. Exhale to execute as always. And again, keep your imprint spine like really part of the floor. You know, we go about 45 seconds in the video together, and it's usually about 21 reps. And let's call it good here in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now this time take your left knee and touch your right elbow and then extend out. All right, as you exhale, you touch your elbow to the knee, always exhaling to execute. Now, check in with your back. If your leg so far out hurts you, well then by all means, just keep your knee bent. You don't have to extend all the way if that hurts you. You know, pain in the belly of a muscle is good. It's what you're looking for. But pain in places like your knee, your back, your wrist, or your neck, that's never acceptable. So always feel good about adjusting your limb length of an activity. See how this is maximum leverage? You can keep it in like this if you need, and that's okay. Work into it gradually. All right, last 3, last 2, last time. Okay, second side. Inhale here. Okay, we got 10 more. Last 4, last 3, last 2, last time. Okay, now this time take 90-degree knees, and again, right away, use your hands to push your knees, because when they are positioned over your hips, you get the most work. Check it out, my back just puffed up, so I gotta tuck my tail under, nail it down. Now, reach like you're trying to touch the bottoms of your feet. And again, if this is too much for your neck, you could use my little trick of your little hand towel there. Believe that would help you there. Here we go. Now, I am kind of puffing up my back, so I'm going to bust myself and tuck it under. Ooh, it's harder that way. Oh my gosh. Let's go. 10. Nice. 8, 7, 6, 5. Last 4, 3, 2, time. Okay, side obliques. Lie onto your left hip, stack your 2 knees, one on top of the other. Take your 2-piece fingers and put them really gently behind your skull. You never want to do this whole interlaced fingers thing. That's just a recipe to hurt your neck. I love side obliques. They're quick builders. You know, these are muscles that you see right away. And it's very reinforcing. But of course, you know, there's no such thing as spot toning. You know, we like to say abs are cooked in the kitchen. And it really is about dialing in your nutrition. And when you do so, and you're really starting to make a change to your body composition, this is one of the first things you end up seeing, and it's reinforcing. Here we go. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Okay, let's take the other side. So now the thing with side obliques is it's basically the same move as a basic crunch, but you're just using the muscles that originate at the bottom of your rib and insert into the top of your hip. And you squeeze, and you squeeze. You know, it's another thing like how we were doing with the deadlifts, where you're participating in the activity. So as you're working here, see how my chin is off my chest? You also want to squeeze your rib to your hip. I like to think about how it's a pause for a maximum pinch of the rib to the hip to the rib. And so this leg that I have up, it's not so much like I'm doing a leg lift per se. It's only up insofar as it helps invite a closer pinch of rib to hip. And see how my elbows are nice, so I'm not yanking on my neck, keeping my head right where it should be, nice and neutral. And let's get into it. Fire it up. Last 10. Nice. 8, 7, 6, 5. Last 4, 3, 2, and time. Oh, volitional fatigue for sure. Okay, next activity. Put your feet in the air, and we're going to lift your hips. So, lift up. Now, push into the floor with your hands. Not to cheat, but to sort of test the waters. You don't want to slam your back down and hurt your SI joint. That's where your hip bones are next to your sacrum, the big fused vertebrae at the base of your spine. It's below your belly button, and it's right there between the lower lumbar and your tailbone, and it's sensitive. You know, it only takes 1 to 3 millimeters of articulation to throw it out. So just use your fingers to test the waters here, and really hopefully you've got your carpet, or like I have my yoga mat and towel, so that you're not slamming your low back. You know, give it some love. You're really trying to isolate below the navel to your lower abs. It's the same muscle group as the rectus abdominis, but it's separately innervated. So it may feel like you're doing different muscle group. You're not. It's an interesting fun fact. Here we go. Lift up. And here we go. Awesome. Okay, so now the next activity that we want to go ahead and do is bicycles. Put your knees to 90 degrees, flex your ankles, and here we go. Alternate sides. Inhale, and
And again, you know, if the long leg out isn't for you, feel free to keep your knees bent. And as ever, you know, work your way into it. We love the video. When I say we, my best friend and me, yep, 2 times a week for the last 6 years, we've been doing these exercises and we've been doing that video. It's very fun. And I giggle because I think you'll like it too. Little humble brag here as a parent. I learned about the video when my daughter was auditioning for cheer, and she would get her little laptop out and throw down 8-minute ads every single day. That child got ripped. I was so inspired. I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick this up. All right, friends, let's do your last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Okay, so we'll do push throughs. Keep your feet flat, tuck your tail under, put your hands together, and we'll push. 7 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, time. Okay, isometric, last thing. So Alexa, set a timer for 45 seconds.
45 seconds, starting now.
All right, so it's an isometric. So again, keep your chin lifted off of your chest because you don't want to crush your neck. And you tuck your tail under and you breathe. And you keep holding. And it's wonderful. You know, you can feel your abs firing here. Because again, we talked about rectus abdominis. You know, it's a show muscle. We have go muscles and show muscles. In yoga, we use a lot of the go muscles. Those are your internal abs, like your transverse abdominis, you know, and it's very good for your spine. But, you know, this is fitness. We got 2 sets of activities 2 times a week. It's wonderful just to get some really good feeling abdominal, you know, exterior show muscles working. All right, Alexa, stop. All right, gang, you did a great job. I hope to see you soon. We have learnitlive.com starting up on Saturday, where I'm excited to teach you Tai Chill. The 9th lifestyle essential in Light 10 Up is a wonderful mind-body practice that I love and I'm excited to share with you. And I really appreciate you listening. Again, I wrote this book because I really lost my way with fitness and wellness during 2020, but I jumped right back on top of things inspired by the Hard 75. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. And I added some other tips to make 10 little strategies here. So that was Pump It Up. And I'm so grateful. Check this out too. Hey, Greg, I'm ready to cut when you are. I just wanted to point out the podcast Light Not Might is also a place where you'll find everything that we're teaching you in this book. And again, guys, have a really great day and thank you so much for playing, okay? We'll see you in 24 hours.